I didn't see you there. You got here just in time, you know. I've been a married man now for nearly half a year, and I feel like I know my wife pretty well. Her birthday is coming up, and that's had me thinking a little bit more about her, and a little bit more about the symbol of the humble wedding band. A wedding band represents appreciation, connection, love, and elevated tax status. I feel like I know my wife fairly well, but almost certainly there are people who know her better than I do, or differently than I do, and I'd like to get to the bottom of that, to understand her better, and to see more of the person that I love. To do this, I've decided to create a documentary. I just finished writing 13 questions that I'm going to use to cut to the very heart of what makes Hannah an important part of these people's lives that I've selected to interview. These people are some of the people who have the richest and most historied experiences with Hannah and her life. People who love her and understand her and care for her. I've engineered these questions to dig deep. Questions like, what's a song that makes you think of Hannah? Or what's the most memorable meal that you've ever had with Hannah? Are designed to drill deep and to well up answers to long-begotten mysteries that we may not have even realized are there. You see, this is my goal. I want to get to know the person that I love more deeply and more truly. Now, please don't get too confused. Just because of the proximity to Hannah's birthday doesn't mean that this has anything to do with it. This is a truly self-centered action. I just want to understand the person that I love better. That is the reason that I'm undertaking this endeavor. Anything that you get out of this, any feelings of love or appreciation or connection, or any tears that may well up inside of you, you may have them, free of charge, but that is not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for me. And I could go on all day talking about this, but I'm excited to get started. So, I guess it's best if we start from the beginning. Who is Hannah to you?
Hannah is one of my best friends and probably my smartest friend.
Hannah is my best friend.
My best friend.
She's my best friend.
My oldest friend.
Hannah's my wife. She's my best friend. She's everything in the world to me.
She's one of my best friends.
By extension, now my sister.
I would consider her like family.
A very close friend.
I don't know. I like Hannah.
And I think that's crazy to say because I only grew up with a brother, and now I actually have a sister, which is weird to say after 26 years of life.
She is my support system when I'm going through hard times, and she's the person who helps me push myself to grow into someone that I never thought I could be. I want to explore every aspect of life with her.
She's who I reach out to for emotional support alongside you and
yeah, she's been the person, very constant in my life. It's always been Hannah.
She's just been a great friend to me and Angie for many years now. I lost count.
And somebody that I've come to support, be supported by and support over the last, I don't know how, years, 4 years? 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's impacted my life tremendously. She's the person I always go to anytime I have something I'm struggling with.
one of the few people in my life that I genuinely think is pretty cool.
Hannah and I like to say that we met in hell, aka History of the English Language, a class that we both had at USF. But we actually met earlier than that. We were in a creative writing class together, and because of the geographic locations in which we sat in that class, we didn't get to talk and become close friends right away. But then when we were in class together in hell, we just clicked, and we've been friends ever since.
Well, let's see. The first time I met Hannah. When was the first time I met Hannah? I don't remember. I remember her through meeting Josh, but I don't remember how or when or why.
I feel like my first time meeting her was the same time as his, which is a Halloween party. And I was dressed as... Muhammad was a lady.
I was dressed as a woman?
She was something Harry Potter. What was I? I don't remember what I was dressed up as.
Who was I dressed as? Moquisha? Was it Moquisha? I bet it was Moquisha. Wow, that was Hannah's first impression of me, huh? I hope she liked that.
Muhammad just went.
We've been friends since we were 12. We met in, I'll say 6th grade. When I started at middle school, it was like a brand new middle school, but most of the kids in my class I had gone to elementary school with. They just moved us all over. So it was really noticeable when there was like a person there that like I wasn't familiar with, and I just saw this like weird girl limping through the hallway with one crutch, and I kept seeing her and I was like, who is this chick? And then we had science class together, and I guess we were just friends ever since then.
I'm pretty sure I met her because Angie brought her over. So they had a class together, and then I think one day Angie was just like, hey, I'm gonna bring my friend over to like study or do homework or something. And we were living in my parents' like little back guest house, which was like 300 square feet. So, you know, we all crammed in there, and she was nice. I mean, you know, she came over and introduced herself, and we all got along great, and it's, you know, been great since then.
I met Hannah in our AP US History class after making some very dark humor jokes to her. It will come up later.
I met Hannah through you, obviously. The first passing meeting was when you were bringing her home one day, and I was sitting in the dining room at Chesterfield's in my gym shorts eating a sandwich. It was just a simple wave. But then you took us both to, I think, Cheddar's. And we sat down, and you introduced us together, and we just chatted and talked. I think you were sick. She was drinking a lot of kombucha. Yeah, she really didn't want to get sick.
Bait. Kidding. I'm kidding. I met Hannah in high school, and funny enough, I actually was intrigued by her when I first saw her. She always carried around this little red notebook, and I thought, what's she writing in there? And she just looked like this little shy meat girl, and I was like, I'm gonna be friends with her. Stories, poems, good stuff. Yeah.
Hannah and I were introduced by Naomi when I was in middle school, and I was still wearing exclusively boys' gym shorts. And Hannah took one look at me and just immediately threw me into one of her dresses. I was very uncomfortable, but I stopped wearing boys' gym shorts after that. Hannah changed me.
So we basically like didn't really meet because she was like really frazzled, because that was like a huge thing. At the time, I was going through like gender stuff, and my friend Josh one day just brings home this woman, and I'm like, I don't know who this is, but I'm going through gender. Hi, my name is Lori. And she was like, hello, Lori. And she's somebody that you just kind of like really click with, at least for me.
So I met Hannah on a dating app. We had been in all kinds of places at the same time together in the past. We'd gone to the same classes. We had the same major in college. We even lived in the same dorm as each other at one point, and we never crossed paths, at least not long enough to get to know each other until well after she was out of school and nearly when I was graduating. And we had talked on this dating app, kind of just on a whim. I had made this account, and she had messaged me, and I got back to her, and kind of, I guess famously at this point, I had said that I had not been able to see her messages for the first day or so after she sent them because my phone hadn't been giving me notifications for the app. And I asked for her phone number because I figured if we'd texted, it'd be more consistent for us to talk. To this day, she still kind of thinks it was a pickup line. Then we had a date in the woods, and she recited Old English Beowulf to me, and I've been hooked ever since.
Can't do that in a few words. Hannah is just all-encompassing. I think about her every day.
Very kind.
A very remarkable human being.
So she's definitely smart,
Creative,
Kind,
Brave,
Very smart.
enduring,
Creative.
driven,
Clever,
Reliable.
Creative.
smart.
She's hardworking.
determined,
passionate,
Very kind.
Oh, come on.
persistent,
helpful,
Ambitious.
Caring.
confident,
Kind.
And creative.
Energetic.
Very loving.
creative,
whatever the opposite of lazy is.
Genuine.
Right.
and she's brilliant.
brave,
And she's very talented.
Very good communicator.
she has a lot of patience.
I think she's very friendly too. And I know I feel like that's a very like cliche thing to say, but like as someone who gets really, really like anxious with new people, it's much easier for me to feel comfortable with people who are genuinely like friendly and like understanding of those things.
So one thing that always comes to mind, because she thinks it's so funny, is when we were staying in a hotel and I was like hiding behind a curtain just for like absolutely no reason, and she just so happened to be filming. I think she had like special like Snapchat glasses or something, and then in the video you just see me step out from behind the curtain, and every so often she just like brings up this video because it's like so hilarious, and no one knows why I was standing back there. I don't know why. I just know that it's funny, and I always think about that.
This is the hardest question you can ask me because I don't remember things. Yeah, I might have to, memory. Favorite. I don't even know if I even remember having memories. I mean, you told me I dressed as a girl when I first met her. I didn't even know I did that.
When I had proposed to her, and I had this whole thing where she thought I was at work, and she thought she was meeting Megan at this park to go for a walk with her. And I had everybody there ready to sort of get the jump on her as I proposed, and to get her on film and to be there with her in that moment so we could have it recorded and have it sort of spent with people that love us and support us. Every single one of them who is in this video, actually. And so that was a really special moment for me.
I like doing a lot of the simple things with Hannah. When we were in high school, we would do a lot of like Starbucks coffee dates, and then I said no distraction. And then in college, I would always drive over before classes, and we would make smoothies together, and then meet up after class and cook dinner together. And I just like to do all of those things with her. And now we do all of our crafting days, and I think those are the best memories for me.
I think my favorite memories with Hannah was leading up to the wedding. I was doing like a lot of like crafting with her and helping her with all the wedding stuff that needed to happen. It was nice because I got to spend a lot of time with her and like feel like I was being genuinely helpful to not just her but both of you. And that obviously all led up to the wedding, which was just an awesome and amazing night. And I even got to make her cry a little bit in a good way.
Okay, so I remember our first ever sleepover. We were sleeping in the front room, which I'm pretty sure is haunted. And we were watching a Harry Potter musical. We were watching something on Hannah's laptop, and I thought it was so cool because she had her own computer, but we were watching it on YouTube. It was probably the actual Harry Potter movies when they were on YouTube. And her little Lexi was like 7 at the time and like this tall. But she would come in and just be super duper annoying, and not leave us alone because obviously we were in the giant front room.
I don't know if Hannah knows this, but she introduced me to cream cheese, and that's just a core memory for me. We were in her Palm Harbor house in the kitchen. It was after school one day, I think, and just raiding the fridge for any snacks, and she had some Triscuits and cream cheese, and I was so unsure because I don't even think I'd heard of cream cheese, but it just wasn't something that our household used a lot, so I was skeptical, but I tried it, and that was life-changing.
So this question was hard for me because I enjoy every moment with Hannah. But when I thought further on it, it's literally just the little, like, small things that we would do together that make me love Hannah as she is. We would go dress shopping all the time. We'd binge watch Once Upon a Time. We go to Universal. Even when I blacked out at Universal, it was still fun. And then there's one time I remember us going to the Causeway, and for some reason, I don't know why I remember this specific detail, she bought a flatbread pizza from Publix, and we just sat in her car, as we used to always do in our drives, and just sat there and had a good time.
I mean, like, there's a lot of moments with Hannah that, like, I'll treasure forever. There was this one time where Hannah was like, do you want to go for a walk? There's, like, a park over that way. And we went there, and it was closed. I thought it was funny. It's just, like, little things. You know, my breakup, she was instrumental in, like, helping me get over that. Both of you were, but Hannah had some very good perspectives that just, like, I would have never thought about before.
So the first one that I think of is when we were helping her with the wedding invites. Was me, her, and Hillary. And she was just so patient with Hillary, trying to figure out what job we were going to give Hillary. And then we did all of those. How many tassels? It was like 100 tassels. And then we got pizza afterwards. That was really fun. Yeah.
Okay, this one's really hard. There's just so many good times that Hannah and I have shared. I would say everything to do with her wedding, like dress shopping with her, doing crafts together. Anytime we get to sew together is always a really good time. Yeah, I don't know. We've been through a lot of moments, like good times and bad, and I just love being with Hannah and hanging out with her.
I'm torn between two. She's a really, really good communicator, and I do admire that, and I've learned a lot from her from that. But she's also like really resilient, and I admire that a lot too.
And I think the biggest thing about Hannah that I've always loved about her, that she has a lot of sincere heart. She's a very genuine person. I try to be a genuine person, but most of the time I come off as an asshole. But with Hannah, when she's a genuine person, it's like, wow, you make me want to be a good person.
Can I look up a definition of a word? Tenacity. Her ability to like roll forward no matter what, because like I feel like she does have such a strong grip on like who she is, her reality, those kinds of things.
The trait that I admire most in Hannah is her communication. If there's something going on that oftentimes the people themselves don't even realize is the underlying effect of their communication, Hannah is a genius at helping get to the bottom of those things and sort of building an equal ground and finding that common denominator for two people to sort of figure out where they're at on something. And I really envy that and I admire that.
The trait I admire most about Hannah is that she just has a really pure heart. She never really like gets jealous of others. She's always happy for others when good things are happening, and she never really has a bad thing to say about anyone. She always looks for the best in people. She's just very kind and has a really good heart.
I love Hannah's compassion for people. She's always very supportive of everyone, and she's always there to lend a helping hand or listen to all of my complaints in life. Yeah.
Transparency and like vulnerability, because as someone else who like struggles bad with like mental health and especially anxiety, it's refreshing to feel like someone else shares a similar experience, because it can feel very isolating. Like even from the get-go, she was just so open about having those struggles, and like it made me feel way more comfortable to express my own struggles, because I'm like, wait, she suffers from things very similar to what I do, and I think that that's something I wish I was better at. So I just admire that in her.
I feel like Hannah is very ambitious. Whatever she sets her mind to, she just kind of goes like full force, like head on, and tries to accomplish whatever that thing is.
Her drive. When she says she's going to do something, you know it's going to happen. I wish I had the drive that she has, so I think that's what I admire most in her.
Her cleverness and her butt.
That thing with her.
Most memorable meal. I don't ever remember what I eat. I just eat.
I might have to come back to that one.
This is the hardest question of them all, and I could not think of an answer, but I did in a way. I think the most memorable eating experience is when I ate that gourd at your house, and everyone was just so shook that I would just eat a poisonous gourd. So that's my answer.
I don't know. I mean, when Hugo ate the gourd, that was pretty funny, for sure. Maybe not for Hugo. For the rest of us, it was pretty funny.
The first thought that comes to mind is that time we went to St. Augustine, and then in the mornings we had those macarons, and we were in line for something before we had that. Did we go on a bus? Wow, holy shit, we went on a bus. Yeah, so we went on a bus, but it was that macaron morning because Hannah got some and I got some. And that was like the first flavor I exchanged with her. Yeah, the macarons, because they have a lot of flavor, you know? We exchanged flavors, like with the macarons. She had a box, it was good. That's what I think about. Or the time when we went to a restaurant that same day later, and we were like on the top of that restaurant, like on the second story, and we had a good view of the pizza restaurant. And we had a good view of like the St. Augustine Beach pirate stuff. And we were eating, I was like, yeah, I like Hannah, she's pretty cool. Yeah, I remember that. Where did that come from? Holy shit.
The most memorable meal that I've ever had with Hannah was the first meal that I ever had with Hannah. On our first date, we went to Three Coins in Tampa, and I ordered pancakes and she ordered a BLT. And I was very messy, and I had shredded these pancakes to smithereens because they were very falling apart. They were not very well held together. So I probably just looked like a mongrel. And Hannah, at the time, was so like nervous from the amazing thing that was starting between us that she didn't eat hardly any of her BLT. And so I guess, yeah, the most memorable meal for me is an uneaten BLT and a stack of decimated pancakes.
It shouldn't be this one, but I just remember one time we all went to the Annapolis Mall. We were all at the Cheesecake Factory. Like, even her mom came, which was weird. And I specifically remember this one because little Lexi flipped upside down in the booth, so just her feet and legs were like up on the back of the booth. That just really sticks in my mind.
When we went to Ford's garage, yeah, we got tots. We were talking about some stuff then that probably should come to mind. Mostly, I remember not enjoying the burger.
I'd have to say it was at Cowfish because it was just the most obscure thing ever that I thought, but I'm like, how American. It was literally like a cheeseburger sushi roll. I thought it was so strange. It was good though, but
I'm gonna say the pizza that I was talking about earlier. I don't know what pizza place it is, but it's by your place. Yes, and it was this white pizza, and white pizza is so good, and I feel like very rarely am I with people who also really like white pizza. So as soon as she suggested a white pizza, I was like, yes. And it was really good, and we haven't had it since, so I would like to get it again. Hillary also talks about that pizza very frequently, so.
I mean, we've had so many fun sushi nights, poke nights. I think like when we would go to Volcano Bay and then we'd go out to eat together, that would always be a really good time. I always had fun.
My most memorable meal is when she took me to eat my first sushi, even though it was chicken teriyaki sushi, which I wouldn't really say counts. But I think that was like a really big moment for me in my life. And she took me, so.
There's lots of things I'd like to do, but I know that she's been helping me like with the card sorting and stuff like that. I think I look forward to doing that with her, finishing watching Avatar, where I think we're almost done.
I would love to go on a cruise with Hannah. We've talked about this many times. We just need to make it happen. You know, start one of our many businesses that we've talked about starting. And basically anytime I hang out with her, anytime we're having a sewing day or something fun, you know, we have a great time. So more of that.
because I remember in the past telling her how much I was like, I don't think cruises are fun, even though I had never been on one. I'm like, mountains all the way, baby. And she's like, you can have your opinion. And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, mountains all the way, baby. Fuck cruises. But I'm looking forward to one day going on my first cruise with Hannah. And then I also thought about us owning our own houses and having our little spawns just playing in the other room together, human or cat, and just living our best lives as adults.
Our to be decided cruise date someday. I'm really excited to go on my first cruise, and she said we would do that together.
I feel like this is an answer that probably multiple people had, but I think it'd be cool to do a cruise together. Yeah, because, you know, she always brings it up, and we haven't gone. I mean, Angie and I have gone on cruises, but we've never gone as like friends or anything to just go and hang out and have a good time. So I think it'd be cool.
One-on-one times. I wanna bake together. I wanna cook together. I wanna make some clothes together. We should cosplay together, and I wanna burn some stuff together. That's it.
Living near each other again. Oh my gosh. I don't care if it's us taking over a retirement home, but it'll happen one day.
This might be a little cheesy, but I can't wait for her to be at my wedding.
Going to Universal. We need to plan a time to go to Universal, because I've only been twice. Hillary's never been. How many times have you've only been? Like once. Twice. And you guys talk, I've never been to Volcano Bay, and you guys talk about it all the time, and I think it'd be so much fun.
Gallivanting around Europe. One of us is gonna live there, and the other person's gonna come visit, and we're gonna go have adventures again.
Raising a pet, raising a child, traveling the world, being myself and growing into myself with her, and seeing her grow into herself. Everything. Everything.
Yeah, she passes the vibe check.
Of course, Hannah passes the vibe check.
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Yeah, Hannah passes the vibe check.
Yes. Hannah passed the vibe check after I accidentally implied that her friend was dead. That was my dark humor joke in that we kind of bonded over in junior year of high school.
Yes, immediately, just right off the bat, even when I first met her.
Fuck yeah. All the way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. Has anyone said no to that?
What's a vibe check?
I don't think I'm qualified to answer for myself, but I hope so.
Obviously, you were a little late filling out your boyfriend application, but we rushed it through the system. You were the exception, and yes, you passed the vibe check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course you passed the vibe check.
Sure.
Depends on the day.
No. I'm just kidding, yeah.
Most of the time, you pass the vibe check.
Not always.
I'd say Hannah passes about always. I've never been in a situation with Hannah where I'm just like, Hannah, what the fuck, man? You little fucking asshole. I've never been slightly upset with Hannah. Not even like in the tiniest bit. I've a few times, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, yeah.
Yes, you pass the vibe check.
You're pretty good.
Maybe? I still don't know what a vibe check is.
It would be if I ripped my pants in the middle of a videotaping of me, and I needed someone to, sew it up real fast. Yeah,
Assuming the videotaping isn't at your house and you don't have extra pants.
that's correct.
I would say literally anytime I need to communicate with another human being. I always am like, is this okay to send? How do I say this nicely? She's always running through all of my text to people.
Well, I did just have like a big emotional family event that just came up recently. Hannah was right there as it was happening, or as I was learning about it. And she was definitely the shoulder I needed and the support that I needed, and she helped me through that. And I know that if any big emotional stuff like that comes up with Hannah, I know I can turn to her and ask her for advice, and I know that her shoulder will be there if I need it.
I mean, she's my wife. Any horrible thing that I ever go through for the rest of my life, I know that she's there for me, and I know that she's going to be right by my side to support me and help pick me up when I fall. I've known that from the day that I met her. That's why I wanted to get married to her, and it's why I spent all this time and energy trying to make a video like this to capture even a fraction of how much she means to me.
I gotta write an email to somebody that I don't know very well, and I cannot figure out how to say what I need to say, and I'm being way too direct, which they're gonna interpret as being rude. So I need help with the social niceties.
Hannah's like one of those people where, like, if I was in an episode, I could be like, hey, Hannah, help me. And she would help me, But I would feel comfortable talking to her about it. Like when I depersonalize, when I forget that I exist, when I wake up and I can't tell if it's a dream or not. Mental health shit,
Okay.
Mental health shit.
Fight with my parents, transphobia, car accident, that kind of stuff.
I thought about this one. In a fairy tale world, I have just been kicked out of Universal for committing treason by mixing butterbeer and fire whiskey. And I'm upset, so I go and destroy Diagon Alley, and Dumbledore himself kicks me out. But Hannah's there to save the day. But in a real life situation, Hannah would probably be the first person I go to if anybody close to me, friend or family, would pass away or something bad would happen. But Dumbledore kicked me out. Pass away or something bad would happen, but Dumbledore kicked me out.
I don't know, maybe I spilled milk and I need to figure out how to clean that. That's my go-to person for any household issue I might encounter. My family had got a new washer and dryer, and I was home alone, and I was trying to figure out how to use it. So I called her. This was before I had FaceTime, so I was just phone calling her, and I asked her how to turn on the washing machine. I think I even texted her when I saw a spider one time. I was like, Hannah, help.
Hannah's the first person I call anytime that a horrible thing happens. I just know that she's always gonna respond with like care and compassion, and she always has like great advice to give. So really any horrible situation, I know that Hannah would be there for me.
Anything by the Les or Jack's Mannequin.
Jack's Mannequin.
Probably Jack's Mannequin.
Dark Blue by Jack's Mannequin.
Dark blue, dark blue.
What it, Lifehouse.
Hey, look, Ma, I made it.
Panic at the Disco. Actually, the whole Vices and Virtues album. I just listened to that recently. And I remembered when we went to Virginia Beach that one time and we listened to the whole album. That was actually also the first time I was introduced to the concept of an album. I didn't know that they came like that because I'd only ever listened to the radio.
I suppose like whimsical Irish fairy tale music, but then also like folky, like Mumford and Sons and like The Head and the Heart. Hannah knows what I'm talking about. Just very like uplifting, dancey music.
There's also like the song at the end of Shrek 2.
Like anything Zelda related. Anything Zelda related.
Well, she probably doesn't know this song. It's Neptune by Sleeping at Last.
Or Black Mile to the Surface, The Maze. That's a really special song for me, for her, for us.
Hannah knows this, but Gone Away, Safety Suit. We used to go to the Dunedin Causeway and sit in her car and listen to the song, sometimes cry a little bit, sometimes not. You know, we were strong.
Girl, it's kind of weird that I've known her for so long. I forget that sometimes. I've known her since the length of a bachelor's degree, and I still don't have one. Huh. I'm sorry, what was the question again? I don't really know how to explain. It's like seeing a sunflower bloom. Like, you can't really explain all the incredible amount of changes and the subtle changes that happens in a person when they get to that point of, like, blooming, right? She's at a point, for me, as I'm seeing, she's happy, she's healthy, she's in a good relationship, she has access to food. She has access to all of the things she wants in her life. She has access to travel. She has some sort of money in case something happens. She has a good house. You guys don't have animals. That's about the only thing. But I think that might be a future thing. You know, we'll see how that goes. Over the years that I've known Hannah, I've only ever seen her going in the direction of where she wanted to go, and for her soul, for her heart. She's more open. She's more communicative. She has less anxiety from when I first met her. She's so much more friendly. It feels like she's found a part of herself and she's able to share it with other people. But I've only known her for 4 years.
Well, since high school, like I mentioned before, I always saw her as this very like meek, timid girl, much like myself, but just very to herself, just doing her own thing. And over the years, I've seen her gain this like confidence, and even though it comes with anxiety, she handles herself so well. So I think she's very much come into the woman, brave, courageous woman that I know her to be today. So it just makes me really happy that I've been a part of that. And she's taught me a lot of things on the way too, so I hope I've taught her some things about just living life to the fullest. Living it like Larry.
She has definitely gotten more sure of herself. Through a lot of effort and work, she's gotten more confident in herself and more ambitious in working towards the things she wants to do, like opening her own sewing business. And like, she's putting in a lot of work towards herself, and we can all see it.
So it's kind of funny in a way, because technically Hannah was like an adult when I met her, but we were all like super young. Like, Hannah was, 18 years old, and Angie and I were like 20. I feel like I've just seen her like kind of grow into adulthood in a way. It's different struggling with like your homework assignments to like dealing with real life situations and, trying to tackle those, individually, and also with the support system, us being there for her and stuff. So just in general, I feel like I've just seen her grow up, become an adult.
I was thinking about it too, that I feel like the last 4 years have gone by really, really fast. And thinking about the fact that I've known her for 4 years is really weird. But I was thinking specifically that, especially in the last year, I feel like she's had to conquer a lot of really big anxiety things. And again, I know I feel like I'm relating this a lot to anxiety, but as someone else who struggles with very similar sort of anxieties, like, I know if I were put in her position in some of the things that she had to make, some of those decisions that she had to make, I I can't say for sure that I would make the same decisions. Like, I feel like she really pushed herself outside of her comfort zone to make a lot of those decisions. And I can only imagine the amount of like, you know, confidence that she had to have like garnered up in herself to be able to make those decisions. And, you know, coming from knowing her for 4 years, I remember actually the first time that we met, she was like upset about that job. So for that long, she finally had that confidence and that understanding in herself to be like, I deserve more. And like, that's a really big stepping stone to have. So definitely an increase in confidence and pushing through your anxiety, because it's very easy to let that be a roadblock. And I've seen her push through that, knowing full well that it might be difficult, but doing it anyway, which is something I can't say that I can do. So
I've seen Hannah through all kinds of scenarios and just go through a ton of stressful situations all through high school, college. She's been through it. I feel like Hannah has always known what to do no matter what stressful situation she encounters. I admire her ability to always have a plan. Like, she can think it through objectively and talk it through with somebody, no matter how upset it makes her. Just seeing that power grow over the years has been inspiring. I love you, Hannah. When talking about Hannah growing over time, you can't not mention her other half, Joshua. Seeing the two of you just sparks so much joy, and it's been really special.
I see her as more of a confident person than when I first met her.
I think everybody else kind of captured it pretty well in saying that Hannah has grown wildly over the past several years. I think that she has been accelerating into herself for a long time and growing into being a strong and capable woman. And there have been hiccups along the way, and there have been hard times that have challenged her confidence and challenged her sense of self. Every single day I see her closer and closer to being that person that she knows she is, and to feeling more at home with who she is. And that's just something I'm so proud of her for.
Stand up for yourself more, like, and I think she started doing this more, but like, you know, we know your worth, but like, I wish she would see it and advocate it more to other people. She doesn't need to be so afraid of authority, I think, because like, she's the shit. Happy birthday, Hannah. I love you. You're awesome. I don't know where to look with this. Happy birthday.
Hannah, I really do love you genuinely as a person. For me, it's really rare to meet anyone that you can genuinely have a heartfelt conversation with. But to have someone with a emotional and mental capacity to be receptive towards that, I guess that's something I really kind of crave. And I guess in the more simpler way of saying, I'm excited to see, and I'm very hopeful to see, where the depths of our relationship will go moving from here forward. Because I see you purely as you. I don't see you as like and this might sound bad, as like a part of your family or a part of this or a part of that. I just see Hannah as Hannah. And everything else is extra for her life, right? And you know, I don't even see her as a part of you. I just see Hannah as Hannah. I just want to see where that goes. But I'm very excited for our friendship.
I love you, and you are 100% a good person, that you're one of my best friends, and I know many other people claim the same thing, and that we're all here for you. Happy birthday! You're older now. You are 1 year closer to your death.
I think the only thing that I would want to convey to her is just how much I love her, and like, even though so much time can go by between us talking or seeing each other, when we're together, it's like no time has gone by at all, and her friendship means so much to me. I really feel like nobody else gets me like she does. She knows all my quirks and my overthinking tendencies, or she'll even know better what I'm thinking than I do sometimes. And she can really put words to my feelings. I struggle to express myself a lot. Happy birthday!
She's the most amazing human being ever, and that she is so worthy of success, and I'm proud of her for following her dreams to do all of her sewing and everything, and I'm always supportive along the way. She's also the best auntie ever. Right. Hey, Hannah, you're the best auntie ever. You tell her. You tell her.
I don't know. I love you. Happy birthday. Oh shit, that's right. I don't know what this is for. I don't remember.
Okay. I was thinking about this when you were interviewing Muhammad, and then I started getting emotional. So I might get emotional. I'm already getting emotional. Okay. I feel like I'm a very difficult person to get to know. I'm literally already crying because I just limit myself so much in terms of like blocking myself off from people. And so like sometimes I feel like even now I don't always put my true authentic self forward, and I feel like she always does. And so moving forward, I want her to know that I really do love her, and I want to be closer to her, and I want to hang out. And a lot of the times, if it ever feels like I'm like quiet or to myself, it's just really something I'm pushing through and working through myself. But it has nothing to do with, you know, how I feel about her or anything like that. So I guess if I had to tell her one thing, it would be I do genuinely want to get closer to her, and that if I've ever come across unauthentic or not genuine, I'm sorry. And I do truly, truly care about her. Sorry. It's really difficult for me. Okay. All right. It is like therapy.
I would say that she should just trust herself, and that she has proven that she can do whatever, you know, she sets her mind to. Affirmations are great, but at the end of the day, it's all about you, and if you want to do it, you can do it. I'm glad that Angie met you in college. I'm glad that happened because I got a great friend out of it. So happy birthday, and I'm excited for the future. Hannah is my best friend in the sea.
Get your nipples pierced and get a tattoo on your ass. I'm kidding. Live intentionally. Nothing is ever that serious as you make it out to be. Honestly, just live your authentic self. Live unapologetically. Take a Xanax. Sit back and watch it burn if that's what it takes to keep your peace. Doesn't matter. Anybody else around you, not even your own husband. Your peace is important. And wear sunscreen. Happy birthday, Hannah. I love you very much, and you mean the world to me, and you are probably, if not my best friend, one of my bestest friends, and my most clever friend, and I'm not getting rid of you. I will kill you before anybody else kills you first, and then I'll kill myself after. Kidding. I'm kidding. I gotta bring the comic relief to it, you know? Don't take life seriously.
All of her friends are here for her. We all love her. And she needs to also be kind to herself and gentle with herself and not second guess herself, and just know that she is like a good person. She's a hardworking person, and just to trust that she is going to do the best thing that she can in any situation. I feel like there's so much I haven't said. I don't know. I just want to say that I really love Hannah. She's a really good person. She's my best friend. She's got a really good heart, and I'm just really grateful that we're friends. Like, she's added a lot of value to my life, and whether we're just having a relaxing day sewing, or we're laughing, or going on a trip together, or going to Orlando together, whatever it is, we're always having a great time, and I really love her, and I just want the best for her.
You've got this. I know you've got this, and you know that you've got this, and I am your biggest fan. Happy birthday, Hannah. I hope that this says everything that I could possibly capture in words, and everything that I couldn't, but the other people in your life who love and care about you could. I want the world for you, and this is about as much of it as I can muster right now, so I hope you loved it, because I love you.
I was told I'm gonna get paid for this.
Quack quack.
Okay, hope that's good.